If you knew there was a universal law that governs wealth, would you use it to your advantage or ignore it like most people do? The truth is, all the money, success, and abundance in the world follow specific principles. And the best part? These principles don't discriminate. It doesn't matter where you come from, how many times you failed, or how many obstacles you face. If you apply the right law, success is inevitable. The enigmatic book we'll explore today has been the foundation of many modern philosophies about wealth and success. But few truly understand its hidden power. It's not just a collection of financial advice. It's a scientific formula to shape reality and attract wealth into your life. So if you're ready to transform your mindset, break free from limiting beliefs, and start building the life you truly want, stay until the end of this video. Because here, you'll discover the exact principles that the world's wealthiest people have used to create their fortunes. And before we continue, I want you to leave this in the comments: I control my destiny. That will be your declaration of intent. Write those words and let this message begin to program your mind for abundance. Now, let's begin with the first chapter. Chapter 1. The Right to be Rich. Have you ever stopped to think about this? Being rich is as natural a right as breathing, learning, or growing. Yet we live in a world where many have been programmed to believe otherwise. Since childhood, we've been taught that wealth is only for a few, that money is dirty, that ambition is wrong. We've been told to settle for what we have and accept life with resignation. But here's the truth. There is no virtue in poverty. There is no glory in scarcity. There is no reason to accept a life of limitations. The true nature of abundance. Look at nature. Everything in the universe is designed to grow and expand. A tree doesn't stop growing because it's enough. The ocean doesn't limit its waves, and the sun doesn't ration its light. The enigmatic book makes it clear. To live fully, a man must surround himself with beauty, comfort, and luxury. Poverty limits him in body, mind, and spirit. If nature doesn't limit itself, why should you? The belief that we must settle for less is a lie. Wealth is not exclusive to a select few. It's a universal energy available to anyone who knows how to access it. Being rich is not an option. It's a duty. This is where many people go wrong. They believe the desire for wealth is optional, that it's superficial or unnecessary. But the enigmatic book presents it differently. Being rich is not just a right, it's a duty. Poverty helps no one. True greatness is achieved when one has the resources to fully develop and help others. Think about it for a moment. If you're poor, how many people can you help? If you lack resources, how can you employ others? How can you donate, create projects, change the world? Poverty doesn't just limit you, it limits your impact on the world. That's why seeking wealth is not selfish. It's an act of responsibility. Poverty is a choice, even if it doesn't seem like it. Now you might be thinking, but some people are born into poverty and have no choice. It's true that some people start at a disadvantage. But it's not about where you begin, it's about what mindset you adopt. If you study millionaires, you'll see that many were born into difficult conditions. But at some point, they decided they wouldn't stay there. The enigmatic book explains it like this. Wealth is the result of right thinking. The man who thinks about poverty and accepts it will attract it into his life. The man who visualizes wealth and claims it will inevitably obtain it. The lie that kept us in chains. Here's the harsh truth. We've been programmed to be poor. We've been taught that money is hard to earn. That we must sacrifice and work endlessly just to have enough. That being rich will make us bad people. But who benefits from this mentality? The ones who control the money. The ones who want you to work for them. The ones who get rich while you accept a life of scarcity. It's time to wake up. It's time to break those mental chains. You have the right to be rich. You have the right to live without worry. You have the right to claim your abundance. But nothing will change until you make a decision. The decision to stop accepting scarcity as your destiny. How change begins. The first step is this. Stop seeing wealth as something out of reach. If you believe being rich is hard, it will be. If you believe money is bad, you'll reject it. If you believe you don't deserve abundance, you'll never have it. But if you start seeing wealth as your natural destiny, everything will change. And here's the key. You don't need to know exactly how you'll achieve it. You just need to believe it first. The enigmatic book states it clearly. The universe responds to certainty, not doubt. The man who confidently affirms, "I will be rich," activates invisible forces that will lead him to his goal. So here's your first exercise. Close your eyes and repeat in your mind, "It is my right to be rich." Visualize the life you want. Don't hold back. See every detail. Feel it as if it were already real. Do this every day, and I guarantee your mindset will begin to shift. The next key to attracting wealth. Now that you understand wealth is your right, how do you obtain it? Here's the secret. It's not about working harder. It's not about exhausting yourself. It's about acting in a certain way. In the next chapter, we'll reveal the exact formula millionaires use to attract money effortlessly, a principle that, if you apply it, will change your life forever. So stay until the end, because what's coming next is the key you've been waiting for. Chapter 2. The power of thinking in a certain way. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a magnet. A magnet that attracts exactly what you think about the most. If you think about wealth, you will attract wealth. If you think about scarcity, you will attract more scarcity. I know this may sound simple, but it's the most powerful truth you will ever learn. The enigmatic book states it clearly. Money and wealth are not the result of chance or luck, but of a specific way of thinking. Whoever masters this way of thinking will inevitably attract abundance. This means your background, education, or even your skills don't matter. The only thing that truly defines your financial success is how you think about money and wealth. The unbreakable law of the mind. If you analyze wealthy and successful people, you'll notice one thing in common. They are not afraid of money. They don't think in terms of lack. They don't believe wealth is hard to attain. On the contrary, they are convinced that wealth is their destiny. The enigmatic book puts it this way. To receive wealth, you must first see it in your mind with absolute certainty. You must think of abundance so consistently and clearly that it becomes an inevitable reality. But here's the problem. Most people are programmed to think in terms of scarcity. Since childhood, we've been told things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work hard to make a living. Being rich is only for a lucky few." And the worst part is, we've believed these lies. They've made us think that money is something difficult to obtain, that it's something we have to chase endlessly, that life is a constant struggle. But all of that is false. Wealth is not chased. It is attracted. Money is not scarce. It is abundant. You are not destined for poverty. You are destined for abundance. The only reason you're not rich is because you haven't yet learned to think in a certain way. How to reprogram your mind for abundance. If your mind is used to thinking in scarcity, you need to reprogram it. And how do you do that? By following these 3 fundamental steps. 1. Eliminate the scarcity mindset. You must be alert to thoughts that limit your success. Every time you think, "I can't afford this. Making money is hard. Opportunities never come to me." Stop immediately and replace those thoughts with affirmations of abundance. Money flows easily to me. Opportunities are everywhere. Wealth is my destiny. Remember, every thought of scarcity reinforces poverty in your life. 2. Visualize wealth as an inevitable reality. The enigmatic book makes it clear. To attract wealth, you must see it in your mind with absolute clarity, as if it were already real. Every morning, before starting your day, close your eyes and visualize the life you desire. Imagine your bank account full of money. Feel the excitement of financial freedom. Do this with such conviction that your mind accepts it as an inevitable reality. 3. Act as if you were already rich. Here's the greatest secret. It's not enough to think about wealth. You must act as if you already had it. This doesn't mean spending money you don't have. It means adopting the mindset and confidence of someone who is already successful. Walk with certainty. Speak with determination. Make decisions from a place of abundance, not fear. The enigmatic book says it clearly. The universe responds to certainty. When you act like a rich person, you inevitably become one. The irrefutable proof. If you still doubt this principle, look at the following examples. Millionaires who lost everything and quickly regained it. People with no formal education who built empires. Entrepreneurs who transformed their lives in just months. What do they have in common? They thought in a certain way. They saw themselves as wealthy before they were. They acted as if wealth was already their destiny. And the result was inevitable. Wealth came to them. Your first mission. Now that you know this truth, here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, eliminate every thought of scarcity. Visualize your wealth with total certainty. Act with the confidence of someone who is already successful. Do this, and you will begin to notice something incredible. Opportunities will start to appear. Money will flow to you in unexpected ways. Because here's the ultimate truth. The universe always gives you exactly what you think about the most. So the question is, what are you thinking about? Chapter 3. The secret of acting in harmony with the universal law. You've understood the power of thinking in a certain way. But here's the key, thinking is not enough. Many people fall into the trap of visualization without action. They believe that just by imagining wealth, money will magically appear in their lives. But the universe doesn't work like that. The enigmatic book makes it clear. Wealth comes to those who think in a certain way and who also act in accordance with that thought. Thinking is the beginning. Action is what turns your thoughts into reality. Focused action, the ingredient that changes everything. Imagine planting a seed in the ground. You water it with positive thoughts and nurture it with beliefs of abundance. But if you never give it sunlight, if you never protect the growing plant, it will never bear fruit. That's how wealth works. Thinking in a certain way is like planting the seed. Acting in harmony with that thought is what makes it grow. The enigmatic book says it like this. It is not enough to desire wealth. You must take the right actions to bring it into your life. Opportunity is everywhere, but only seen by those who act in alignment with their thoughts. The key: taking advantage of the present moment. Many people make a fatal mistake, waiting for the perfect moment to act. When I have more money, I'll start my business. When I have more time, I'll improve my skills. When I feel more confident, I'll take risks. But here's the harsh truth. The perfect moment never comes. The only right action is the one you take right now. The enigmatic book expresses it like this. The only time you can act is now. You cannot act in the past or in the future. Wealth comes only to those who take action in the present. If you want to change your financial reality, you must begin today. How to take action that creates wealth. It's not about doing anything randomly. You must act wisely and in alignment with the law of abundance. Here are 3 essential principles to guide you. 1. Give your best in everything you do. Rich people follow an unbreakable principle. They do everything with excellence. It doesn't matter if they're starting a business, working a job, or creating a new opportunity. They always give more value than they receive. They always strive for constant improvement. They always deliver superior quality. The enigmatic book states it clearly. To receive more, you must first become more. Give your best in every action you take, and the reward will come multiplied. So ask yourself, am I giving my best in what I do? Am I delivering the maximum value possible? If you're not, then you're blocking your own abundance. 2. Use the law of movement. Every step counts. Here's the most common mistake. People believe they need a perfect plan before acting. But the truth is, movement is what leads you to success. You don't need the perfect business to start. You just need to begin. You don't need the perfect investment to make money. You just need to take the first step. You don't need the perfect idea. You just need to move. The enigmatic book gives us this powerful lesson. Opportunities appear along the way, not before you start. The act of moving generates new possibilities you would never have seen if you had stayed waiting. Need proof? Successful entrepreneurs started without knowing everything, but they took action. Millionaire investors didn't wait for the best opportunity. They entered the market and learned along the way. People who changed their financial lives did so because they acted without excuses.
The lesson is clear. Move now. Don't wait.
3. Open yourself to the opportunities already around you. Money is not in some distant place. Opportunities are already around you. But here's the problem. Most people don't see them because they're not looking in the right direction. The enigmatic book explains it like this. Wealth does not need to be created from scratch. It is waiting to be discovered by those who have learned to see it. The key is to ask yourself, what opportunities already exist in my life? Are there ways to improve my work and earn more? Do I have skills I could monetize? Are there businesses or investments accessible to me? The difference between the rich and the poor is not a lack of opportunity. It's the lack of vision to see them. The commitment that changes lives. If you truly want to transform your financial life, you must make this commitment to yourself. From today on, I will act in alignment with abundance. I will give my best in everything I undertake. I will move without waiting for the perfect moment. And I will be alert to the opportunities already surrounding me. If you follow these principles, it is impossible not to become rich.
The question is, will you?
Chapter 4. Breaking the mental chains that keep you away from wealth. You've learned to think and act in a certain way. But there's something that can still hold you back. Your limiting beliefs. Here's the uncomfortable truth. If deep inside your mind you believe that money is hard to get, that the rich are dishonest, or that you're not capable of achieving it, then financial success will never come to you. It doesn't matter how hard you work, how much you invest, or how many opportunities you have. If there are subconscious blocks, you'll sabotage your own wealth without even realizing it. The enigmatic book warns us. The universe responds to your dominant thought pattern. If you believe in scarcity, you will attract scarcity. If you believe in abundance, you will attract abundance. You cannot escape this law. Identifying your limiting beliefs. Want to know if you have beliefs that are blocking your wealth? Answer these questions honestly. Do you feel guilt or discomfort when thinking about earning a lot of money? Do you believe rich people are selfish, exploitative, or dishonest? Do you struggle to accept that you can earn money easily and without extreme effort? Were you taught that money doesn't grow on trees, or that only the lucky get rich? Are you afraid of losing money, even when clear investment opportunities show up? If you answered yes to any of these, you have mental blocks holding back your success. The enigmatic book makes it clear. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If you want to change your financial reality, you must first change your thoughts about money. The power of mental replacement. Most people try to eliminate their negative thoughts about money, but fail because the brain doesn't work with voids. The solution isn't to erase negative beliefs, it's to replace them with beliefs of abundance. Here are 3 powerful ways to do that. 1. Redefine your vision of money. Instead of thinking money is hard to get, you must see it as a tool for expansion and growth. The enigmatic book explains it this way. Wealth is not something you take from others, but something you create. By becoming rich, you contribute more to the world, generate opportunities, and expand well-being. So, make peace with money. Tell yourself, money is a tool to improve my life and the lives of others. Money is abundant and available to me. I have the right to wealth, just like anyone else. Let these ideas become your new truth. 2. Question the beliefs you inherited. Most of our beliefs about money aren't even ours. We absorb them from our parents, society, school, and culture. If you were taught that money corrupts, or that being poor is being humble, those ideas may still be influencing you without you realizing it. The enigmatic book gives us this warning. False beliefs about money are passed down from generation to generation. If you want to be rich, you must break the pattern of inherited scarcity. To do this, ask yourself, where does my idea that money is hard to get come from? Who taught me that rich people are bad? Why do I believe wealth is for others and not for me? Question each belief and give yourself permission to build a new mindset. 3. Use the power of repetition to reprogram your mind. Your subconscious learns scarcity through repetition. If you heard thousands of times that there's not enough, everything is hard, and the rich are greedy, then those ideas became absolute truths in your mind. But here's the good news. You can use the same strategy to install beliefs of abundance. The enigmatic book makes it clear. Repeat the truth of abundance over and over until it becomes your new reality. Here's a powerful technique. Every morning and every night, say out loud, "Money comes to me with ease and abundance. I am a magnet for wealth and opportunities. My mind is aligned with unlimited prosperity." Don't do it once. Do it every day. Repetition is the key to destroying scarcity beliefs and programming yourself for wealth. Are you willing to break with your past? Here's a crucial question. Are you willing to let go of the ideas that have kept you in scarcity? Many people say they want to be rich, but they cling to beliefs that keep them poor. Because admitting that scarcity was an illusion means accepting they've lived a lie for years. But the enigmatic book gives us this liberating message. It doesn't matter how long you've believed in scarcity. The moment you choose abundance, the universe will respond. Your wealth does not depend on the past. It depends on what you believe starting today. Chapter 5. The secret to accelerating your wealth. Gratitude and absolute certainty. Now that you've reprogrammed your mind and eliminated the invisible barriers that kept you in scarcity, you need fuel for your new financial reality to manifest quickly and without obstacles. That fuel is the combination of gratitude and certainty. The enigmatic book explains it with absolute clarity. Gratitude is the great multiplier of wealth, and certainty is the force that shapes reality. Those who combine these two elements obtain immediate results. This is not just a nice idea. It's a universal law. Let's see how to apply these principles in your life so your prosperity stops being a dream and becomes an inevitable fact. The hidden power of gratitude. Most people think about gratitude the wrong way. They believe they should only be grateful after receiving something. But here's the key. Gratitude is not just a reaction. It's a tool of creation. When you give thanks in advance, before receiving, you send a clear message to the universe. I am certain this is mine. And the enigmatic book confirms it. Be grateful not only for what you have, but for what you are about to receive. Act as if it were already yours. Gratitude opens the doors to abundance. When you wake up each morning, instead of thinking about what you lack, say, "Thank you because money flows constantly into my life. Thank you because opportunities come to me with ease. Thank you because wealth is already a reality in my life." This is not a wish. It's a recognition of what is already yours. This small mental shift activates invisible forces that accelerate your financial success. Absolute certainty. The ingredient that changes everything. But here comes the defining factor. Certainty. There is a big difference between wishing for something and being completely sure that you already have it. Most people desire wealth. But deep down, they don't truly believe they will get it. That's why they fail. The enigmatic book is clear. Only those who act with the absolute certainty that their wealth is already a fact can attract it effortlessly. If you doubt, if you fear, if you wonder, what if it doesn't work? You're blocking the flow of money toward you. Certainty means knowing it's already yours, even if you can't yet see it with your eyes. How to practice certainty. Speak and act as if you were already rich. Not from arrogance, but from absolute confidence. Don't say, "Hopefully someday I'll be rich." Say, "My wealth is on its way. It's only a matter of time before it manifests." Make decisions with an abundance mindset. Don't save out of fear. Save strategically. Don't think in terms of limitations. Think in terms of possibilities. Ask yourself, what would a millionaire do in my place? And act accordingly. Avoid desperation. Desperation is a sign of doubt. Instead of saying, "I need money," say, "I'm in the process of receiving more money than I ever imagined." The enigmatic book reminds us. The universe responds to the frequency of your thoughts. If you act like someone who is already rich, circumstances will align to make it a reality. Chapter 6. How to move from theory to action. The formula for financial success. We've already unlocked your mindset, aligned your frequency with abundance, and established the foundations of certainty and gratitude. Now it's time to move the pieces on the board and play to win. Because the enigmatic book warns. Thought without action is like a seed without soil. Only when you take action does wealth begin to bloom in your life. This means that visualizing yourself as wealthy is not enough. You must act in a specific way so that money can flow without obstacles. Here you'll learn the exact formula to turn your new mindset into concrete results. The difference between those who dream and those who create. Many people know these principles, but few apply them. Why? Because they wait for signs, wait for the perfect moment, wait to feel ready. The enigmatic book says something revealing. Success doesn't come to those who wait, but to those who act with absolute faith. This means you must move now, no excuses. It doesn't matter if you don't have the perfect plan. Start with what you have, where you are, with what you know. Here's a key difference between dreamers and creators. Dreamers say, "I'm going to prepare more before I start." Creators say, "I'm going to start now and learn along the way." And that difference changes everything. The formula for financial success. The enigmatic book gives us a clear plan. Have a defined and clear vision. It's not enough to say, "I want to be rich." You must define exactly how much money you want, how you will get it, and what you will do with it. Wealth loves clarity. Act immediately with the resources you have. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're not ready yet. Success is a muscle that gets stronger with movement. Ask yourself, what is the first step I can take today? And do it. Develop high-value skills. Money follows value. Ask, how can I provide more value to more people? The most profitable skills today are communication, investing, and leadership. Apply the law of accumulation. Small consistent actions generate massive results. If you save, invest, and grow by 1% every day, your financial life will transform in months. Persist until wealth becomes inevitable. Here's the master key: never stop. Most people quit when they don't see immediate results. But the enigmatic book says, success is not a matter of speed, but of consistency. Wealth comes to those who don't give up on their vision. Real example. How to move into immediate action. Think of someone who wants to generate wealth. They have two options. Option 1. They spend their time watching videos, reading books, waiting for the best moment. Option 2. They take what they already know and start acting today. The one who chooses option 2, even if they make mistakes at first, has an infinite advantage over the one who keeps waiting. Which side do you want to be on? Chapter 7. How to build an environment that leads you to wealth. You already understand that action is key. But there's something else most people ignore. Your environment can either make wealth flow to you, or evaporate before it arrives. Because the enigmatic book makes it clear. Man is the product of his environment. If he wants wealth, he must move in an environment of wealth. If you remain surrounded by scarcity ideas, poverty habits, and people who don't believe in success, your efforts will be like rowing against the current. But when you shape your environment to align everything in favor of your financial growth, wealth becomes inevitable. Today you'll learn how to do that. Your environment is your financial mold. Did you know that the people you spend the most time with define your income level? This is no coincidence. Your mind is shaped by what it sees, hears, and experiences every day. The enigmatic book says, surround yourself with prosperity, and prosperity will surround you. That's simple. If your environment is filled with poor habits, negative news, and complacent people, your mind will adapt to it and replicate it. But if your environment is full of growth ideas, conversations about investments, and examples of success, your mind programs itself to produce wealth. How to build a wealth environment. You don't need to move to a new city or spend money. Just follow these 5 steps to rewire your environment and make wealth flow toward you. Remove sources of scarcity. Ask yourself, what content do you consume daily? What kind of conversations do you have most often? Who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? If you're constantly watching negative news, talking to people who complain about money, and living surrounded by financial fear, your mind is being programmed for scarcity. Remove those influences. Remember this. Poverty is contagious, but so is wealth. Expose your mind to abundance every day. You can't change everyone around you, but you can change what you consume. Do this every day. Listen to audiobooks and videos about wealth. Follow successful people and learn from them. Fill your mind with growth ideas. Do this for 30 days and you'll see your mindset change automatically. Watch your language. Words are powerful. The enigmatic book teaches. Man is the result of his words and thoughts. The words you use daily create your reality. Never again say phrases like, "Money is hard to earn. I can't afford it. I'm always broke." Change your language to this. Money flows easily to me. I always find abundance opportunities. Each day, my wealth grows more and more. Your subconscious will believe what you repeat consistently. Create a physical environment that reflects wealth. Your visual surroundings affect your mental programming. If you live in clutter, surrounded by old things and without inspiration, your mind sinks into mediocrity. Do this now. Organize your workspace and home. Surround yourself with images of success and wealth. Wear clothes that make you feel prosperous. Your physical environment influences your mindset more than you think. Connect with people who lift you up. The right people can accelerate your success exponentially. Seek to surround yourself with people who talk about investments, business, and growth. See opportunities instead of problems. Challenge you to be better every day. If you don't have anyone like that around you, join online communities, read millionaire biographies, and absorb their ideas. Surround yourself virtually with successful people until those ideas become your new normal. Wealth is a matter of environment. If you follow these 5 steps, you'll create an environment that naturally propels you toward wealth. Eliminate what feeds scarcity. Expose your mind to abundance. Watch your language and what you say about money. Build a physical space that reflects success. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. Your environment will either be your ally or your worst enemy. You decide. Chapter 8. Programming your mind for automatic wealth. If you've followed each step so far, your mindset has already started to change. But there's one problem. 95% of your daily actions are automatic, dictated by habits deeply rooted in your subconscious. That means if you don't change your financial habits, you'll fall back into scarcity again and again, no matter how hard you try. This is where most people fail. They get motivated, try to make changes, but their old habits drag them back to the same place. But today, you'll learn how to reprogram your mind so that wealth becomes automatic and natural in your life. Why your habits define your wealth. The enigmatic book makes it clear. Man does not decide his destiny. He decides his habits, and his habits decide his destiny. This means no matter how badly you want wealth, if your financial habits are the same as someone who is always broke, you will keep getting the same results. But here's the powerful part. Habits can be reprogrammed. If you install wealth-building habits into your daily life, you won't have to push yourself to become prosperous. It will happen automatically. How to program yourself for automatic wealth. Here are the 5 habits that will transform your financial life and make wealth flow to you effortlessly. Think in abundance every day. Your thoughts create your reality. If you constantly think about debt, lack of money, and financial fear, you will keep attracting more of that. The enigmatic book says, the mind that focuses on scarcity will attract more scarcity. The mind that focuses on abundance will attract more abundance. Daily exercise. Each morning, visualize your life with wealth. Feel prosperous before the wealth arrives. Write affirmations like, money flows to me in large amounts. Do this every day and you'll see how your reality begins to change. Pay for your future before your present. Poor people spend first and save what's left. Rich people invest first and spend what's left. If you always wait until there's extra money to save or invest, you will never build wealth. New habit. Every time you receive money, invest 10% before spending. Automate saving and investing so it becomes inevitable. Grow your money before spending it on temporary desires. This simple change will make you a millionaire over time. Use money as a tool, not a goal. Most people work for money and use it to pay bills. The rich see money as a tool to multiply it. The enigmatic book says, money is not the goal, but the means to create more wealth. New habit. Each month, allocate a portion of your income to learn about investing. Use money to acquire assets, not just liabilities. Before spending, ask yourself, does this make me richer or poorer? When you think like an investor, wealth starts working for you. Surround yourself with financial information every day. Your mind adapts to what you consume. If you hear about scarcity, you program for scarcity. If you hear about wealth, you program for wealth. New habit. Read about finance at least 15 minutes a day. Listen to audiobooks and podcasts about investing. Talk to people who understand money and success. Do this for 1 year and your mindset will be completely different. Learn to control your emotional mind. Uncontrolled emotions lead to poor financial decisions. Fear keeps you from investing. Impulsiveness makes you spend on foolish things. Millionaires learn to manage their emotions to make cold, strategic decisions. The enigmatic book says, the man who controls his emotions controls his destiny. New habit. Before making a financial decision, wait 24 hours. Never spend money based on emotion, only on strategy. Meditate or journal before making major decisions. When you master your emotions, you master your financial future. Chapter 9. The hidden factor that sets the rich apart from the poor. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to attract money effortlessly while others work hard their entire lives without success, this chapter will reveal the hidden truth behind financial success. It's a secret very few know, but once you understand and apply it, wealth becomes inevitable. Why do some people become rich with almost no effort? The enigmatic book makes it clear. Wealth is not the result of hard work, but of correctly applying the laws of abundance. This completely breaks the belief that you need to work yourself to death to become rich. Look around you. There are people who work 12 hours a day and remain poor. There are others who don't seem to try as hard, yet money flows to them. Where is the difference? In their internal vibration and the way they use the laws of the universe. The rich don't just work hard. They work in alignment with universal principles that multiply their results. And here's where the hidden factor comes in that will change everything for you. The power of financial identity. It's not what you do that makes you rich. It's who you are. Every person has a subconscious financial identity that dictates how much money they can attract and retain in their lives. If your identity is programmed for scarcity, no matter how much money you earn, you'll lose it or spend it all. But if your identity is programmed for abundance, you'll attract opportunities, multiply your wealth, and hold on to money effortlessly. The enigmatic book puts it plainly. A poor man who thinks like a rich man will soon be rich. A rich man who thinks like a poor man will soon be poor. Do you realize how powerful this is? Your current wealth is just a reflection of your internal financial identity. How to reprogram your financial identity for abundance. This is where many fail. They try to make more money without changing their inner identity. If you want real and lasting wealth, you must become a person who naturally attracts and handles money wisely. Here are 3 keys to changing your financial identity and allowing wealth to flow to you effortlessly. Surround yourself with people who already live in abundance. Your mind is shaped by the environment you live in. If all you see are financial problems and complaints about the economy, you'll absorb that mindset without realizing it. But if you surround yourself with people who talk about investments, growth, and opportunities, your financial identity will change automatically. Practical exercise. Spend time around financially successful people. Find mentors who already have the level of wealth you want. Absorb their way of thinking, speaking, and acting with money. When you change your environment, your identity changes effortlessly.
Visualize and feel your new identity every day.
Your brain doesn't distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what is real. If every day you see yourself as a rich, powerful, and successful person, your mind will begin to act accordingly. The enigmatic book says, you must see yourself as already being prosperous before prosperity arrives. Practical exercise. Close your eyes each morning and visualize yourself living the life you desire. Feel the emotion of abundance as if it were already real. Speak about yourself as if you were already a millionaire. Do this every day and you'll see opportunities begin to appear. Change your internal dialogue about money. The words you use have a direct impact on your financial identity. If you constantly say, "Money is hard to earn. I can't afford that. I'm always having financial problems," you're programming your mind for scarcity. Instead, you must start saying, "Money flows to me easily and abundantly. I always find new opportunities for wealth. Every day I'm becoming more prosperous and successful." For 30 days, eliminate any negative thought about money. Replace it with affirmations of abundance. Write and repeat aloud phrases that reinforce your identity as a wealthy person. When you change your internal dialogue, your financial reality transforms. Chapter 10. The Ultimate Secret to Manifest Money Fast. If you followed each of the principles we've covered so far, you already understand that wealth is not a matter of luck or extreme effort. It's a matter of mental alignment and intelligent action. But here comes the big question. How can you speed up the process? How can you make abundance arrive faster in your life without having to wait years to see results? This is where the ultimate secret comes in. The formula multimillionaires use to get rich quickly. The enigmatic book states it clearly. Clear and sustained thought, combined with right action, brings wealth to you swiftly. Most people make a fatal mistake. Either they only think about becoming rich but don't act, or they act without clear direction and end up wasting time and energy. The ultimate secret is to combine both elements with mathematical precision. This is what multimillionaires do automatically, but nobody teaches you this in school. Here's the step-by-step formula. Step 1. Define your wealth with absolute clarity. It's not enough to say, "I want more money." That's too vague. The universe responds to specific commands, not to confusing desires. The enigmatic book explains it this way. You must have a clear picture of what you want and hold it with unwavering conviction. Your mind is like a GPS. If you enter an exact address, it will take you there. But if you just say, "Take me somewhere better," you'll end up lost. Practical exercise. Write down the exact amount of money you want to manifest. Clearly define what you want it for and how you will use it. Visualize this amount every day, with the feeling that it is already yours. Step 2. Create a mental image so real that you cannot doubt it. This is where 99% of people fail. It's not enough to think about money. You must see it, feel it, and experience it with total conviction. The enigmatic book makes it clear. When a man sees himself as already rich, all the energy of the universe aligns to make it real. If your mind accepts it as undeniable truth, reality has no choice but to manifest it. Close your eyes and visualize yourself already having the money you desire. Imagine the bills in your hands, the sound of transactions, the thrill of spending and investing it. Feel the relief and confidence of knowing it is already yours. The more vivid your mental image, the faster you'll attract money into your life. Step 3. Take massive action in the right direction. Here's the final piece of the puzzle. You can have the right mindset, but if you don't move, nothing will change. The enigmatic book emphasizes, thought without action is useless. Action without thought is waste. The combination of both is absolute power. The key is to take actions aligned with the wealth you desire. It's not about working harder, but working smarter and with precision. Make a list of the 3 most powerful actions you could take today to move closer to your financial goal. Execute at least one of them immediately. Don't stop until the money begins to flow into your life. When you combine absolute clarity, a powerful mental image, and massive action, money has no choice but to come to you. Chapter 11. The invisible block that keeps money away from your life. What if I told you that money is already trying to reach you, but something inside you is rejecting it without you even realizing? Yes, it sounds shocking, but it's the truth. Many people apply all the wealth principles. They have clear goals. They visualize their success every day. They even take action. But money still doesn't flow into their lives. Why? Because there's an invisible block keeping them away from abundance, without them even noticing it. And that block is their subconscious relationship with money. What do the rich believe versus what do the poor believe? The enigmatic book tells us. It's not enough to want wealth. You must be completely willing to receive it without internal resistance. This is where most people fail. They've grown up with beliefs like, money is hard to get. If I become rich, I'll turn into a bad person. Money corrupts people. And even though they consciously want to be rich, their subconscious sabotages them. The rich, on the other hand, don't have those blocks. To them, money is simply a tool. They don't see it as something difficult, bad, or unreachable. They see it as something natural. And because their mindset is aligned with wealth, money flows easily to them. How to discover your invisible blocks. If money still isn't flowing into your life the way it should, it's because at some level, you're rejecting it. The enigmatic book gives us a clear method to remove these blocks. Identify what negative beliefs you hold about money. Do you feel uncomfortable when someone talks about large amounts of money? Do you believe that making money fast is too good to be true? Do you feel guilty when thinking about becoming a millionaire? Question each one of these beliefs. Ask yourself, where does this idea come from? Who taught it to me? Is it actually true, or just a program I inherited? Replace them with beliefs that empower you. If you used to believe money is hard to get, replace it with, money flows to me easily because I bring value to the world. If you used to think becoming rich will make me a bad person, replace it with, money only amplifies who I already am, and I am a person of integrity. This process is so powerful, it can completely change the way you experience wealth. Because when you remove your internal blocks, money no longer has barriers to reach you. The experiment that will make money come into your life in 7 days. If you truly want to prove that your mindset is the only thing stopping your wealth, try this experiment. For the next 7 days, repeat this affirmation out loud every morning and every night. Money flows to me easily and abundantly because I am in harmony with wealth. And then, observe what happens. If you do this with full conviction, you'll see signs that money is starting to move toward you. It could be opportunities, new ideas, or even unexpected money. But the key is to believe it with your whole being. If you do it right, in less than a week, you'll see clear proof that your relationship with money is changing. Chapter 12. The fatal mistake that makes people lose their wealth. How many times have we seen people who earn a lot of money, but within a few years lose it all? Athletes who generate millions and end up bankrupt. Lottery winners who, within a few years, are worse off than before. Entrepreneurs who achieve wealth but cannot sustain it. Why does this happen? Because attracting money is only part of the equation. If you don't know how to keep it and multiply it, you will inevitably lose it. The mindset that keeps money in your life. The enigmatic book warns us. Money must be guided with intelligence and purpose, or it will dissipate like water through your fingers. Here's the problem. Many people manage to attract money but still think like those without wealth. And what does a scarcity mindset do when it receives money? Spends it immediately on unnecessary things. Doesn't manage it wisely. Doesn't put it to work to generate more wealth. The difference with truly wealthy people isn't how much they earn, but how they think about money. Because the abundance mindset knows that money is a tool that must be used strategically. If you want to keep your wealth, you must change your relationship with money in 3 key ways. 1. Don't see money as a reward, but as a resource. The problem for most people is that when they receive money, they see it as a reward. And what do we do with rewards? We spend them. A bonus at work, an unexpected inheritance, a profit from an investment. The typical reaction is, I did it. Now I can treat myself. But the rich think differently. When they receive money, they see it as a resource to multiply their wealth. Instead of spending it on immediate luxuries, they think, how can I make this money work for me? That's why, when you see billionaires living apparently modest lives, it's not because they're stingy. It's because they know the key isn't spending, it's reinvesting. 2. Never get attached to money, but feel responsible for it. The enigmatic book tells us, money is a servant, not a master. If you treat it like a god, it will become your slavery. Many people who achieve wealth develop a fear of losing it. This fear leads them to make bad decisions. They cling to their money and don't invest it out of fear of losing it. They become paranoid and stop enjoying it. They are overwhelmed with stress because they feel they have so much to lose. Paradoxically, this attachment leads them to ruin. The truly rich understand that money flows not when you hold it with fear, but when you use it wisely. Instead of thinking, I have to protect it at all costs, they think, I'm going to use it wisely so it multiplies. 3. Always have a long-term vision. Poverty is impulsive. Wealth is strategic. People without financial mindset make decisions based on the short term. They spend without thinking about the future. They only seek instant gratification. They don't consider how today's decisions will impact their wealth tomorrow. The rich, on the other hand, always have a long-term vision. They don't worry about how much they're earning this month, but how their actions are building sustainable wealth over time. If you want to make sure you don't lose your money, invest in financial education. Build multiple sources of income. Develop strategies so your money works for you. Because wealth isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process. Chapter 13. Will money make you happy? The answer no one wants to hear. Let's talk about one of the most important questions on the path to wealth. Will money really make you happy? If you ask this on the street, you'll hear answers like, money doesn't buy happiness. I'd rather be happy than rich. Rich people are unhappy because all they care about is money. But the truth is, money can bring happiness, but only if you understand it and use it the right way. Let's see what the enigmatic book says about this. Wealth is the external manifestation of the inner power of thought. But happiness is the result of harmony between your thoughts, your desires, and your purpose. In other words, it's not money itself that will make you happy, but what you can do with it. But here's the problem. Many people chase money as if it were the ultimate goal. And when they finally get it, they feel empty. Why? Because they confused wealth with purpose. The mistake that makes rich people feel empty. You've surely heard stories of millionaires who have everything, yet end up depressed. Famous actors who fall into addictions. Multi-millionaire entrepreneurs who feel their life has no meaning. People who achieve financial success but still don't feel fulfilled. Why does this happen? Because money only amplifies what's already inside you. If you feel empty before becoming rich, money will only make that emptiness bigger. If you don't have a clear purpose, wealth will just leave you with more questions and less satisfaction. But if you understand money as a tool to fulfill your purpose in life, then you will be truly happy. How to use money to increase your happiness. Here's where the most important key comes in. Money should never be the goal. It should be the vehicle to reach something greater. The enigmatic book reveals a fundamental principle. True wealth is not just material, but spiritual. And its purpose is to allow you to live fully, without limitations, without fear, without barriers. This means real happiness comes when you use your wealth to create impact in the lives of others. Build something meaningful that transcends you. Free yourself from financial worries so you can focus on what truly matters. That's why the happiest millionaires are those who use their money for a greater purpose. Entrepreneurs who create products that improve people's lives. Philanthropists who use their wealth to help others. People who invest in experiences and human connections, not just material things. Because here's the absolute truth. Money is just a means, not the final destination. Society's trap. We're taught to want money, but not how to use it for happiness. From a young age, we're programmed to chase money. We're told, get a good job so you can earn more money. If you're rich, you'll be successful. Money will give you everything you want. But we're never taught what to actually do with that money to become truly happy. That's why so many people spend their whole lives chasing wealth without direction. And when they finally get it, they realize it wasn't what they truly needed. So, what can you do to avoid this trap? The secret to being rich and happy at the same time. Here's the key that true millionaires understand. Money only has value when it is aligned with your life's purpose. If your only goal is to accumulate more and more money, you'll never feel satisfied. But if you use your wealth to expand your potential, help others, and build something meaningful, then you'll experience true happiness. The enigmatic book explains it like this. When money is the reflection of a mind in harmony with its purpose, happiness is inevitable. This means that, to achieve the perfect combination of wealth and happiness, you must define your true purpose in life. Use your money as a tool to fulfill it. Never chase money for its own sake, but for what it allows you to accomplish. Chapter 14. The Universal Law of Financial Flow. The Secret the Rich Master. Why do some people seem to attract money effortlessly, while others struggle their entire lives? It's not about luck. It's not about hard work. It's not about intelligence. It's about alignment. The enigmatic book reveals something powerful. Money is energy in motion. And like any energy, it follows universal laws of attraction, flow, and expansion. That means if you understand how this law works, you can unlock a constant flow of wealth in your life. But if you ignore it, you'll be trapped in a cycle of scarcity, no matter how hard you try. So pay close attention, because what you're about to discover may change your relationship with money forever. What is the law of financial flow and why do most people ignore it? Imagine a mighty river. When it flows freely, everything around it thrives. The water nourishes the land, trees grow, animals drink, life flourishes. But if you block that river, the water becomes stagnant, it rots, and scarcity takes over the environment. Money works exactly the same way. When you allow it to flow, it grows, multiplies, and benefits you and others. When you hold it back out of fear, it stagnates, dries up, and disappears. The problem is that most people have been programmed to block financial flow with thoughts like, making money is hard. If I spend it, I'll run out. I don't deserve to be rich. Money is scarce. But here's the truth. Money isn't scarce. It's infinite. What's scarce is the abundance mindset. How to open the financial flow and allow money to come to you. If money is energy, then you need to activate its flow in your life. The enigmatic book teaches us 3 key principles to achieve this. Give to receive. The only way to multiply wealth is to put it in motion. If you hoard money out of fear of losing it, you're sending the universe the message that there's not enough. But when you give without fear, when you invest in growth, in helping others, in improving your environment, the universe multiplies it and returns it in greater amounts. Why do you think millionaires donate so much money? It's not just altruism. It's because they know money flows when you put it in motion. Recognize that you are already abundant. Money comes to those who already feel rich, not to those waiting to feel rich after having money. This may sound like a paradox, but it's the foundation of manifestation. If you act from scarcity, you'll attract more scarcity. But if you start to feel prosperous, to be grateful for what you have, to live with a wealth mindset, money naturally aligns with you. Use money as a tool, not a goal. Money is a powerful servant, but a terrible master. If your only goal is to accumulate money, it will never be enough. You'll always want more and more, but without purpose. But if you see money as a tool to fulfill your purpose, expand your potential, and improve the lives of others, then money will never stop coming to you. The big key: break your mental blocks about money. If you're not experiencing a constant financial flow in your life, It's because you have internal blocks stopping it. Ask yourself, do I believe making money is hard? Do I feel uncomfortable receiving large amounts? Do I associate money with something negative? Do I fear losing it, and therefore avoid spending or investing it? Each of these thoughts is an energetic block that prevents wealth from flowing to you. The first step to activating the law of financial flow is to free yourself from these limiting beliefs. And the enigmatic book gives us a key tool to achieve it. Affirm your abundance. Feel your wealth. Act as if you were already prosperous. Because money will follow the vibration you emit. When you change your mindset, you change your financial reality. Chapter 15. The Law of Financial Growth. How to multiply your money infinitely. What would you do if every bill you touched could multiply? Sounds like a fairy tale concept, doesn't it? But true millionaires understand a principle most people ignore. Well-used money isn't spent. It multiplies. And that's the key to the law of financial growth. The enigmatic book makes it clear. Money is like a seed. If you plant it in fertile soil, it will grow abundantly. But if you waste it, it will disappear without a trace. Today, you'll discover how to transform every dollar into a never-ending wealth machine. But first, you need to understand the fatal mistake destroying the financial stability of millions. The mistake that keeps people poor. Using money to spend, not to grow. Look at what most people do when they receive money. What do they do with it? They spend it. They buy things they don't need. They pay off debts without changing their habits. They reward themselves with luxuries they can't afford. And then they complain they never have enough. But the rich do something radically different. They don't see money as a reward, but as a tool for expansion. They follow a golden rule. First, make money work for you. Then, enjoy the fruits of its growth. The difference between wealth and scarcity lies in this single decision. How to make your money grow like a tree that never stops bearing fruit. If you want your money to multiply, you must treat it as what it truly is. Energy in motion that must grow and expand. The enigmatic book reveals 3 fundamental principles to achieve this. 1. The law of compound interest. The secret of money that multiplies itself. Money generates more money, if you know how to harness it. Every dollar you invest wisely becomes a seed. If you let it grow in the right vehicle, it multiplies exponentially. Example. If you invest $1,000 at 10% annually and let compound interest do its work, in 20 years you'll have over $7,000. But if you keep adding more money and reinvest it, in 40 years you could have over $50,000 without doing anything. The rich understand this principle, and that's why they never leave their money sitting idle. Are you applying this? 2. The assets that multiply your money. The secret no one teaches you. Don't work for money. Make money work for you. The key to wealth isn't how much you earn, but where you place your money. If you only rely on your salary, you'll be stuck in the hamster wheel forever. But if you learn to place your money in vehicles that generate more money, your wealth will grow on its own. Examples of assets the rich use to multiply their money. Stock market investments. Shares of solid companies that grow in value over time. Real estate. Properties that generate rental income and increase in value over the years. Automated businesses. Enterprises that operate without your constant presence. Intellectual property. Books, courses, licenses that generate passive income. Each asset you own is a money-printing machine. And the rich accumulate assets, not debts. Where is your money right now? In assets or in things that only cost you money? 3. Reinvestment. The millionaire's habit that exponentially grows their wealth. Wealth is not built with large sums, but with small amounts consistently reinvested. If you earn an extra $1,000 a month and spend it on luxuries, your wealth stays the same. But if you take part of that $1,000 and reinvest it in assets that generate more money, in a few years, that passive income can completely replace your job. This is the process. You earn money from your job or business. You invest part of it in assets that generate more money. You reinvest the profits in more assets. Your money grows exponentially until wealth becomes inevitable. This is exactly what the rich do. And you can start today, even with a small amount. The difference between the rich and the poor is not money. It's their mindset. Two people can earn the same amount of money. One remains trapped in scarcity. The other builds wealth year after year. What's the difference? One sees money as something to spend. The other sees it as something to multiply. One settles for quick money. The other seeks lasting wealth. One depends on physical effort. The other lets money work for him. The question is, which one do you want to be? Chapter 16. The Law of Financial Vibration. How to become a magnet for money. Why do some people attract money easily, while others struggle their whole lives without success? It's not luck. It's not privilege. It's vibration. If you don't understand this law, it doesn't matter how much you work, how much you study, or how much you invest. Money will always be elusive. But if you master it, money will come to you effortlessly. The enigmatic book states it clearly. Wealth is not chased, it is attracted. It is not a matter of physical effort, but of alignment with the right frequency. And in this chapter, you will discover how to shift your vibration so that money flows to you naturally. The secret of the rich: they don't chase money, they make money chase them. Imagine two people with the same knowledge and the same opportunities. One of them always achieves financial success. The other always fails, no matter how hard they try. Why? The difference is not in what they know or do. It's in what they are. Money, like everything in the universe, is energy in motion. And just like a magnet attracts metal, your mind and emotions create an energy field that either attracts or repels money. If you live in fear, worry, and scarcity, your vibrations say, "There is not enough," and money runs from you. If you live with confidence, gratitude, and a vision of abundance, your vibrations say, "Money flows easily to me." And that is exactly what happens. How to shift your vibration so that money flows to you. The enigmatic book reveals 3 essential steps to raise our frequency and become true wealth magnets. 1. Change your inner dialogue. Stop repeating scarcity messages. Money doesn't grow on trees. I can't afford that. It's hard to make money. Every time you say these phrases, you are reinforcing the idea of scarcity in your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is the one that manifests your reality. The rich don't say, "I can't afford it." Instead, they ask, "How can I afford it?" Notice the difference. The first phrase closes the doors. The second one opens the mind to solutions and opportunities. Start observing how you speak about money and consciously change your words. Soon you'll notice a shift in your perception and in your financial results. 2. Feel abundance before it arrives. The universe responds to your energy. One of the biggest mistakes people make is saying, "When I have money, I'll feel abundant." But in reality, it works the other way around. The enigmatic book explains it like this. Wealth is first felt, and then materialized. You can't wait to have money to feel prosperous. You must feel prosperity now, and money will come as a consequence. How do you achieve this? Be grateful for what you already have, no matter how small. Feel the emotion of abundance every day. Surround yourself with things that make you feel prosperous, without overspending. When you generate the feeling of abundance in your body, the universe turns it into a tangible reality. 3. Stop sending mixed signals. Decide that money is yours and do not doubt it. Many people say, "I want to be rich," but deep down, they doubt, fear, and feel unworthy of wealth. The problem is that the universe responds to your deepest beliefs, not just your words. If deep inside you think, "I don't know if I deserve that much money. If I get rich, I'll be criticized. Maybe it's not possible for me," the universe interprets it as, "I don't want to be rich." And so it is. To attract wealth, you must decide with total certainty that money is yours. 0 doubts. 0 internal conflicts. Act, think, and speak as if you were already a millionaire. Because when you become that person internally, the external reality adjusts to reflect it. The ultimate test. How to know if you're attracting or repelling money. Pause for a moment and analyze your life. If money flows to you easily, your vibration is right. If you feel that money always slips away, something in your energy is blocking it. The enigmatic book gives us this challenge. If you desire wealth, ask yourself these questions with absolute honesty. How do I speak about money? How do I feel when I think about wealth? Am I 100% sure that money is my natural right? If any of your answers reflect scarcity, that's the point where you need to work. Change your vibration, and money will change with you. Chapter 17. The Law of Investment Power. How to turn your wealth into an empire. You've learned how to attract money. Now you must learn how to multiply it. If you don't, you'll end up like most people. They earn money, but lose it. They build wealth, but waste it. The enigmatic book makes it clear. Fortune is not about how much you earn, but about how much you keep and multiply. If you don't understand this principle, your money will vanish, no matter how much you have. But if you master it, your wealth will grow without limits. Here you'll discover the law millionaires use to turn their money into an endless stream of wealth. The mindset that turns money into lasting wealth. Most people think money is something to use and spend. The rich see it differently. To them, money is a seed. They don't waste it on fleeting luxuries. They plant it in strategic places and harvest more money. This is the power of the investor. He doesn't work for money. He makes money work for him. The enigmatic book tells us, money is like a tree. If you plant it correctly, it will grow and bear fruit for life. But if you spend it recklessly, you'll never have enough. The 3 principles of investment power. If you truly want to create lasting wealth, you must learn to invest wisely. And for that, the enigmatic book reveals 3 fundamental principles. 1. Never spend all you earn. Sow first, enjoy later. One of the biggest mistakes people make is living at the edge of their income. If they earn $1,000, they spend $1,000. If they earn $10,000, they spend $10,000. They never save, never invest, never build wealth. The enigmatic book gives us this golden rule. So at least 30% of what you earn before spending it. In what? 10% in investments that generate more money. 10% in education to improve your ability to earn income. 10% in donations or contributions to activate the flow of abundance. What remains, you use to live. But if you spend first and think about saving later, you'll never have enough money to invest. 2. Invest where money grows on its own. Don't depend on your time. The rich understand something most people ignore. Money should work for you, not the other way around. If your only source of income is your job, you'll always be limited. But if you place your money in assets that grow on their own, your wealth will multiply effortlessly. The enigmatic book gives us a powerful key. Don't put your money into things that lose value. Put it into things that multiply it. Invest in real estate that generates rental income. Invest in businesses that operate without you being present. Invest in the stock market with safe strategies. The more you do this, the faster your fortune will grow. 3. Use compound interest. The secret of multimillionaires. Compound interest is one of the most powerful forces of wealth. It's the system banks, investors, and great fortunes use to grow their money. The enigmatic book tells us, he who understands compound interest earns it. He who doesn't pays it. How does it work? If you invest money and reinvest the profits instead of spending them, your wealth grows exponentially. Example. If you invest $1,000 and earn 10% annually, after 1 year you have $1,100. If you reinvest that $1,100, the next year you have $1,210. If you keep going, after 20 years you'll have over $6,000 without adding more money. Now imagine doing this with larger amounts. That's why the rich get richer. Not because they work more, but because they use the power of compound interest to multiply their fortune. How to know if you're using investment power or wasting it? Ask yourself these questions. Am I investing at least 30% of what I earn, or am I just spending everything that comes in? Do I have investments that generate passive income, or do I rely entirely on my job? Am I reinvesting my earnings, or am I spending every dollar I make? If your answers indicate you're not sowing your money, it means your wealth isn't growing. But if you apply these principles, you'll see how your money begins to multiply without you having to work more. Chapter 18. The Law of Financial Protection. How to shield your fortune from any crisis. Many people know how to make money. Few know how to keep it. If you don't learn to protect your wealth, you could lose it all in an instant. The enigmatic book warns us. Wealth must not only be earned, but also wisely protected. Great financial empires have collapsed because their owners ignored this principle. Don't let the same happen to you. Today you'll discover the strategies millionaires use to shield their money against any crisis. The mistake that can destroy your fortune in seconds. Money flows. If you don't have a plan to protect it, it will slip through your hands faster than it came. The enigmatic book gives us a clear warning. Wealth poorly managed fades like sand between the fingers. There are thousands of examples of people who lost everything. Lottery winners who end up bankrupt. Successful entrepreneurs who lose their businesses due to lack of foresight. Investors who see their fortune collapse during a bad financial year. What do they all have in common? They didn't protect their money. They didn't prepare a shield against risk. And they paid a high price. The 3 pillars to shield your wealth. If you want to make sure your money is protected, you need 3 things. 1. Smart diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. The biggest mistake people make is betting everything on one single income stream or investment. The wealthy do the opposite. They diversify their assets to reduce risk. The enigmatic book tells us, do not rely on a single source of income. Build multiple pillars of wealth. How do you do that? If you have a business, invest in other income streams. If you invest in the stock market, diversify across sectors. If you own real estate, don't depend on just one type of property. If one area falls, the others sustain your wealth. That's how millionaires operate. 2. Emergency fund. A cushion that gives you security. Crisis can hit at any moment. Those who survive are the ones who have reserves for hard times. The enigmatic book explains it with a simple rule. Before expanding your wealth, make sure you have a solid foundation. This means that before making big investments or expenses, you must build an emergency fund. How much do you need? At least 6 months of expenses covered in cash or liquid assets. Ideally, 12 months of financial backup. With that, if something goes wrong, you won't lose your stability. 3. Insurance and legal protections. A shield against the unexpected. The wealthy leave nothing to chance. They know that a single accident, lawsuit, or health crisis can wipe out a fortune. That's why they apply a foolproof strategy. They use insurance and legal structures to protect themselves. The enigmatic book puts it this way. Those who protect their wealth with intelligence sleep peacefully. What kinds of protection do you need? Health and life insurance. To avoid a medical crisis draining your savings. Insurance for your assets, so a disaster doesn't destroy your estate. Legal structures, like trusts or corporations to safeguard your money. Millionaires never leave their wealth vulnerable. They follow these steps and build an impenetrable financial shield. How to know if your fortune is protected or at risk? Ask yourself, do I have multiple income streams, or do I rely on just one? Do I have an emergency fund that allows me to withstand crises? Have I insured my assets and legally protected my wealth? If you answer no to any of these questions, your money is at risk. But if you apply these strategies, no one will be able to take away what you've built. Chapter 19. The Law of Economic Flow. How to become a magnet for opportunities and wealth. Money is neither created nor destroyed. It moves. Some people know how to attract it effortlessly. Others chase it their entire lives and never reach it. Why does this happen? The enigmatic book gives us a surprising answer. Money is like a river. If you know how to direct the flow, it will come to you naturally. But if you block its course with fear, doubt, or poor management, it will divert to others. Today you'll discover how to tune into this economic flow and make money move toward you in ever-increasing amounts. Why do some always have money and others never do? Money follows a simple principle. It flows to those who understand and value it. Look around. There are people who seem to attract opportunities effortlessly. Others, no matter how hard they work, barely survive. The difference lies in their relationship with the economic flow. The enigmatic book tells us clearly. Wealth is not a matter of luck, but of alignment with the flow of money. And that is achieved through 3 key principles. The 3 principles to master the economic flow. If you want money to constantly flow toward you, you need 3 things. 1. Break the financial block. Overcome your fear of money. Many say they want to be rich, but deep down they fear handling large sums of money. The enigmatic book warns. The fear of losing money blocks its arrival. If you think money is dangerous, if you believe the rich are bad, if you're afraid that making money will change your life too much, you're blocking the financial flow. The rich don't see money as a problem. They see it as a tool. And that changes everything. 2. Deliver massive value. The secret that makes money chase you. Money doesn't come to those who desperately chase it. It comes to those who create something so valuable that people want to pay for it. The enigmatic book says, he who gives more value than he receives becomes a magnet for wealth. How can you apply this? In your business, offer more quality than your competitors. In your job, be the best at what you do. In your investments, spot opportunities where others see problems. When you give more value than you charge, money flows to you automatically. 3. Smart circulation. Don't hoard money, make it move. The mistake many make is saving their money without making it grow. They think saving is enough. But the enigmatic book warns. Stagnant money loses power. Only money in motion generates more wealth. The rich don't pile up money aimlessly. They put it to work in investments, businesses, and opportunities that multiply their fortune. How can you apply this? Don't be afraid to invest in education, business, or productive assets. Use your money to create new sources of income. Think like the wealthy. Money must work for you, not the other way around. How to know if you're flowing with money or blocking it? Ask yourself. Are you afraid of handling large amounts of money? Are you delivering massive value to others? Are you circulating your money or hoarding it out of fear? If you answer no to any of these, it means you have financial blocks. But if you apply these principles, you'll become a magnet for opportunities and wealth. Chapter 20. The Law of Financial Expansion. The Secret of Multimillionaires. If you have money today, what guarantees you'll still have it tomorrow? If you've already generated wealth, how do you multiply it without limits? This is where most people fail. Many achieve a certain level of financial comfort, but they stop there. Why? Because they ignore the law of financial expansion. The enigmatic book reveals. True wealth is not in accumulating money, but in multiplying it without limits. Today you'll learn how to make your money not only grow, but grow exponentially. This is the secret that separates millionaires from multimillionaires. The mistake that stops financial growth. Many people follow this pattern. They earn more money. They raise their standard of living. They spend everything they earn. They get stuck at the same level. This is a deadly trap for financial expansion. Because true wealth isn't measured by how much you earn, but by how much you let your money grow. The enigmatic book warns. Those who spend all they earn will never move forward. But those who reinvest their money in expanding assets will see their fortune grow without limits. This leads us to the first principle. The 3 principles of financial expansion. If you want your money to multiply without limits, You must apply these three principles. 1. The principle of reinvestment. Your money must work for you. The rich don't live off the money they earn, but off the money they invest. Every bill that passes through their hands becomes a soldier working for their expansion. The enigmatic book makes it clear. Don't become rich to spend. Become rich to multiply. Real example. An entrepreneur earns $100,000 in his first year. If he spends it all on luxuries, next year he starts from zero. If he invests half in businesses and assets, within a few years that $100,000 can turn into millions. It's not about saving, it's about multiplying. 2. The principle of growth assets. Where to invest to expand. If you want unlimited wealth, you need assets that grow over time. The enigmatic book tells us, true fortune is built with assets that multiply on their own. Where do the rich invest? Scalable businesses. Companies that grow without depending on their time. Strategic real estate. Properties that increase in value over the years. Smart investments. Stocks, cryptocurrencies, investment funds. Digital assets. Online properties that generate passive income. Every dollar you put into these assets is a seed that, over time, becomes a giant financial tree. But here's the problem. Many people invest poorly and lose money. To avoid that, you need the third principle. 3. The principle of the abundance mindset. Eliminate the fear of loss. The greatest enemy of financial expansion is fear. Fear of investing. Fear of losing money. Fear of the unknown. This fear keeps most people stuck in financial mediocrity. The enigmatic book says, those who fear loss never win big. Multimillionaires don't see losses as failures. They see them as growth lessons. Real example. Elon Musk risked his entire fortune on Tesla and SpaceX. Jeff Bezos reinvested all of Amazon's profits for years. Warren Buffett loses on some investments, but his long-term vision keeps him at the top. They don't play not to lose. They play to win big. That's the secret. Chapter 21. The Law of Financial Influence. The secret of the legendary rich. Now you know that money flows to you when you attract it consciously and actively. You know how to multiply it and protect it. But what happens when you reach significant financial stability? What happens is that you must evolve to the next level. The Law of Financial Influence. This is the secret behind the great millionaires, those whose wealth transcends generations. The enigmatic book says, wealth beyond your dreams doesn't come only from what you save, but from what you do to influence the world. What does this mean? It means that for your money to grow without limits, you need to positively influence the world around you. It's more than just having money. It's about creating a legacy that impacts thousands, or even millions, of people. How financial influence transforms your life. If you want to reach this level of wealth, you must start thinking not only about what you can gain but what you can contribute. True financial expansion comes when your influence on others grows. You achieve this in two main ways. By offering value. By building a network of powerful people who support you. 1. Offer incredible value to the world. The enigmatic book teaches us that money follows those who significantly contribute to the lives of others. The example of Steve Jobs is clear. He wasn't just selling tech products. He was changing the way people interact with technology. His value wasn't limited to product innovation. It extended to how these devices transformed people's lives. The key here is that value builds trust. And trust is the magnet of wealth. When you offer something that genuinely improves others' lives, money comes as a natural consequence of that influence. 2. Build a network of strategic alliances. Nothing you've achieved so far would be possible without the right relationships. The enigmatic book states, true financial power lies not in what you have, but in the connections you've created. This principle is vital. Billionaires don't just own profitable businesses. They have access to the best opportunities through their strategic relationships. Each new alliance represents a door to new possibilities. When you have a solid network of influential people, the paths to financial expansion open up on their own. The law of collaboration. United for infinite growth. The law of financial influence is closely tied to the law of collaboration. Did you know the greatest fortunes are created through collaborative partnerships? The enigmatic book mentions, never build wealth in isolation. Collaboration with others is the key to exponential growth. Take the example of Bill Gates and Paul Allen. Together they created Microsoft, and their partnership was crucial to their success. Without that union, we might not know Gates as one of the richest men in the world. The same goes for Warren Buffett and his partner Charlie Munger. Together, they formed the powerful force behind Berkshire Hathaway. They teach us that true power lies in working together, combining your strengths with someone else's, and using the power of collaboration to create something far greater than what you could do alone. The law of expanded vision. The secret of great financial leaders. Have you ever wondered why successful people have such a clear vision of what they want? The great millionaires don't just see the world as it is. They see what the world can become. The enigmatic book reveals. Clear vision is the compass that guides the journey toward true wealth. And how do you develop that expanded vision? You must practice seeing beyond the immediate. That is, not just focusing on today's earnings, but creating something that will make an impact for future generations. For your money to grow infinitely, your vision must be expansive. You must think big. Visualize. Money flows to those who have a clear vision and act according to it. How to apply the law of financial influence. If you want to start applying this law in your life, do the following. Find a cause you're truly passionate about. Build strategic relationships with influential people. Contribute something valuable that allows you to help others. Develop your long-term vision and grow it step by step. Wealth doesn't come only from what you gain, but from what you give to others. The law of gratitude. The closed circle of abundance. Now that you know how to attract money, multiply it, and expand it, you can't forget the most important part: gratitude. Gratitude is the final catalyst that closes the cycle of abundance. The enigmatic book tells us, as you give thanks, the universe gives you more to be thankful for. The law of gratitude is simple. The more you give thanks, the more the door to abundance opens in your life. And when you live from a place of gratitude, your mind aligns with the flow of abundance. Abundance is no longer something you seek, it becomes something that constantly surrounds you. With these principles, your wealth will expand. The key is to apply each of these laws. If you follow them, you will see your life, your finances, and your influence change forever. This is just the beginning of your journey toward financial expansion. Now it's your turn to act. Make it real. See you in the next video.